All right, let's do the damn thing.
We have ignition sequence start. The engines are on. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
It makes people feel good to say they're successful, but productive is so much better.
What does a win look like for you? If you don't know what a win looks like for you, then you're hoping to get lucky, and we all know hope's not a strategy.
If you focus on money, you're never going to have any. And if you focus on people, you'll have all the money you need.
I think the biggest thing is just staying consistent and communicating with your clients with what's going on. If it's bad news, give them the bad news. If it's good news, give them the good news, but you can't be afraid of telling them.
Making real estate simple. That's it.
All systems are go. Over.
I love it.
I love it too, right? It's great. Hey, welcome back to the simpliHŌM podcast. I'm Sean Miku, your CEO, founder, and host of the podcast today. And I'm joined by my friend, Mekhail.
I'm so excited to be here, Sean.
I'm so glad you are here. We should have done this like 2 years ago, but here we are doing it today.
Hey, never too late.
And for those avid listeners, Mike has also just launched a podcast for simpliHŌM on in Arabic. So we're doing Arabic podcasts, Spanish podcasts, and English podcasts now.
No, I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome.
Trying to explode. So we are going to talk today about effective leadership and team building. I would consider Mike an expert of this because Mike has a team of nearly 50 agents. They sell a lot of houses.
I know, 49, Sean. I'm so excited.
Almost.
I mean,
we're almost
this is one more to go.
Sales-wise, I don't remember last year's numbers. I should know that. But last year was a crazy year for the entire market as a whole. Interest rates went crazy. Buyers went crazy. Yeah. Everything was it was a tough year. 2021, I remember you guys had like 30 something agents, right?
Correct. We have been, as you know, we started about 6 years ago, and I only had 2 agents with me. And
I didn't know you actually started the team 6 years ago.
Yeah,
that's it?
six years ago.
That's amazing.
Two agents and myself, we started, and it just went every year. The numbers kept going and going, and people at the beginning, I was just recruiting, and I noticed that the other agents start getting the other agents, telling them about the value that they have in the team, and I'm excited. Now we're 49.
That's amazing. Yeah, I did not know it was only 6 years ago. And you started in the business?
I started in 2002. So 21 years ago.
How's that make you feel?
Old.
Yeah, I was doing the math the other day. I was like, golly, like it used to be cool to be like, oh yeah, 4 or 5 years ago I was on food stamps and all these things. And now I'm like, yeah, 8 years ago.
I know. Especially when you're trying to book something online and then you have to put the age
and scroll and scroll.
Oh my God.
All right. So you're at 49 agents. I've been watching your guys' deals picking up like crazy. But with that, obviously there's a lot of time that goes into pouring into the folks in your team, right? And when I was getting started, I always was told, and I didn't believe anyone, but I was told that the more people you have, the easier it becomes.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I like what you say always, like focus on people, not focusing on money.
Yep.
I mean, it makes a huge difference. So I focus on each member that I have of the team, and I try to teach him, and we do different things all the time. We go out for lunches. We do training all the time at the office. We also go on a trip once a year. It's paid for by me.
I'm going next year.
I know. I cannot wait to see you there. You'll have a lot of fun. And that brings a lot of harmony together. They want to help each other. They want to grow together. Awesome. And I cannot be more pleased with that.
Yeah. Give me some of your background. You started in 2002. You started your team 6 years ago, so that was 2000. And I can math eventually. 2017.
17.
Okay. So what was your background kind of before you got into real estate? What prompted you to want to start a team?
I started in restaurant management. I started as a manager at Opryland Hotel, and then I moved to Applebee's restaurants and assistant manager. Then became a general manager, and then I was like, they used to...
Tired of getting yelled at over the French fries being undercooked?
The hardest part is just getting people to work, John.
That's fair. Same problem,
like, you know.
right? 20 years later.
So it's just finding the right people to work. It was the hardest thing, and have to go to work on the holidays, not spending time with the family. Then I started real estate part-time, and it started taking up. And as you know, my community is growing.
Yeah.
We're about over 50,000 Egyptians in Nashville.
It's amazing.
Market. Yes. So it's so I saw that, and I was like, I can be part of that growth, and start being in real estate, and it took off.
Yeah.
It took off. Like actually in 2009, I remember 2008, 9, and 10. That was my biggest sales ever. I was like, every year I'm going higher. Everybody's suffering out there. And saying
Everyone's
like,
losing.
Yeah. So like, the sales are just down, and real estate market is down, but Egyptian community, they like to buy real estate. I want to tell you, like, most of my clients own 3, 4, 5 homes. I actually have one that went under contract. We got him that deal in Lebanon. Got him 2 other homes not long ago, and he just keep buying, like putting 20-25% down and rent them out.
Crazy. Fair enough. 3 to 4 or 5 homes. Those are great clients to have.
Absolutely.
I've had clients since when I got started, and I ended up going, I ended up pretty quickly referral based. But you have those people, and the general stat is people buy and sell somewhere between 7 and 12 years.
Yeah.
Right. And I would have people like that I've sold 6 houses to. I've only been in real estate for 8 years ish. Yeah. And so I was like, wait, is this the normal? But it was because of all the crazy appreciation and market movement and everything else that it was just people jumping primaries, but not necessarily adding secondary and investments.
That's true. And let me tell you, Sean, I mean, what helped me also to grow, it was the meeting when I met with you. Do you remember, like, when you talk over Remax and you joined me, then we met at Starbucks. Do you remember that?
I remember it.
So just when I met you the first time, I knew at that time, because I was planning to go to another company. I worked in Crowlike, I worked at Remax, I worked in too many companies, but I really got excited meeting you, and you made a promise that you will take me to a different level, and I felt it, and I was like, let's go ahead and do it, and I'm glad I made that change. I mean, it's it's something that I keep thinking. I was like, man, I wasted so many years working with other companies that just names that did not give me more than just the name.
Right.
Most of my clients come just for Mike.
Right. Of course.
So when you have a company with the technology that we have here and the growth we have, and we're over 400 agents, 450 agents, like in Florida.
And you're 50 of them.
Hey, I'm excited to be that. And let me tell you, Sean, I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface. I feel like the team, we can go to 200. I mean,
let's do it.
Because the concept I put in place, it's, I'm trying to give value to the agents, and I'm not trying to be greedy.
Yeah.
So I give all of them 24/7, 7 days a week help.
Yeah.
And from negotiating the contract, how to put the right offer, finding the value of the home, how to negotiate repairs. And I tell them, okay, one of the things, like, I had an agent call me the other day, and he said, Mike, we are, just go ahead, and we're probably going to sign this earnest money release. I was like, why are we signing the earnest money release? It's like, we cannot get in, an agreement on repairs. And, they said that they didn't want to send us a repair proposal. And I was like, just talk to the agent. Tell them, hey, we talk to the seller and talk to the buyer agent and say, try to make it work. And we'll work it out. Yeah. And they worked out, and now they're still under contract, and they're moving forward.
Great.
I mean, sometimes...
Let's not shut it down, guys.
Don't shut it down,
Yeah. Open communication.
Open communication. And then I try to teach him that every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have an incredible group. I love hanging out with your team.
They love you too.
They're so much fun. They're hilarious. They're professionals. They do a really good job. They help a lot of people. They sell a lot of homes. But you just mentioned that you provide, 24/7 help, but the key word isn't the 24/7. They'll respect your boundaries. However, whatever boundaries you set,
Correct.
They are loyal to you because you take people. And I had this experience when I started the company with 4 agents, and where you have the opportunity as a leader to speak into people's lives. You understand more of their situation. You've probably been in their situation in many ways, right?
Correct.
So you're able to provide that like guiding light to someone that takes them from where they are to where they want to be, right? And that breeds loyalty. What else do you think kind of goes into that equation beyond just being that guide?
You know, Sean, I mean, it's not only about, and I always tell my agents, if you need me, I'm here behind you. Okay. And I give you an example. I have one of my agents, he has some rental properties, and he never been in a court in the United States. And one of the tenants did not pay his rent. And, you know, so I go with them to the court.
Yeah.
And I help them. And it's just like, you know, everything is going to be fine, man. Just, you know, we went there and we stood in front of the judge and, you know. So I try to help each one of them individually what they need outside even real estate. They're just a group of family together. We're just a small circle of family. They help each other. If one of them goes on vacations, the other ones, they step in to help them out. It's just a small family.
I love that. I love that. I made a Facebook post the other day about leadership. I was a little irritated because in our industry, there's just a lot of people who are leaders by title, right? And there's different types of leadership. You know, you've been in leadership for a long time. And there's leadership by title, or there's influential leadership where you're actually, you know, there with them. There's servant leadership where you're like there and delivering value more so. I try to live by servant leadership. I don't always reach that bar because it's a high bar. And it can be a mentally taxing bar, right? And emotionally more so taxing bar. But the influential leadership and the servant leadership, if you operate within those things, you breed loyalty because it's always putting people first.
You know, Sean, we don't have the you know, I don't have too many agents that leave my team. Once they join my team and they see the value, they want to stay there. Yeah. They see the value in it, and they show me loyalty because real estate companies out there, they try to recruit them. Yeah. They give them the best offers out there. Gosh. It's like, hey, you know what? Come and we'll pay you money.
Yeah. I mean, our agents get hit up all the time. Yeah. You get hit up all the time.
All the time. And then I tell them, like, you know, so you have to have that loyalty. You have to have, you know, you have to show them that you really care about them, right. And, you know, you want them to grow.
Yeah. Well, and it comes from walking the walk.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a lot of people that go out here and they talk and they go, oh, well, I'm going to do X. And then they don't do X. And that's what pisses people off, right? And I mean, I appreciate the comment a few minutes ago, but I feel like there's so much more that I need to be doing to help you get to that 200 agent goal, right? What can I do more from my seat to yours to allow you to reach your goals? And as a leader, I feel like one of the biggest things that we have is a need to ensure that our vision remains large enough that others can build their vision within.
Yes, definitely, Sean. You're doing a fabulous job, and it's not because I'm here with you today, and I keep telling you that all the time, and I keep telling my agent, it's the best company, and you're talking to someone who's been in real estate for over 20 years. It's the best company that will give you the best value for your money out here. So if you're an agent out there right now and you think that the company is offering you the best value and for the best, you know, money that out of your pocket, I want you to give me a call.
Yeah, we'll call Mike, please.
You know, talk to me. And if they do have better deal and they can offer the same, you know, and same is not only how cheap it is. Okay, for me, it's the whole thing. It's just, you know, the whole growth of the company. If you find if you have a company out there that is better than simpliHŌM, just talk to me and I will move with you. But I can tell you something, you know, I looked around, I talked to so many different companies, and there are cheapers out there.
Yeah, of course.
But cheaper is not always better.
Right. Yeah,
that's why, you know, so I advise everybody right now, whoever watching me, if you're a team, talk to me or talk to Sean. Trust me, you will not regret it. Yeah. I mean, it's you get the best of everything, Sean. Yeah. I mean, if I call you today and tell you, Sean, I have an issue, you're right there getting it done. I mean, and that's the difference. I mean, you've got the technology, you've got everything. So what the agent is looking for today?
Yeah.
They're looking for a company that have the technology, get things done, and them being part of it.
Right.
You know, and with simpliHŌM growing and going public hopefully soon, and be able to get some shares in the company and
Right.
being part of it, it doesn't make sense to go to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I lose a lot of sleep over building.
I know. I see.
Truth be told, about 5 months ago, I guess it was October. When did we go to Texas? It was October, right? Yeah, we went to Texas, and it was for a coaching thing, because I get coached through various sources. And the first step of that coaching conversation was build your irresistible offer. And so I had to get like really honest with myself back in October and say, would I, Sean, the founder of the company, join the company today? And I said no, because I had strayed too far away from what I was like laser focused on in the beginning. We had to shift the model a little bit, just because that's what happens over time.
That's part of the growth, Sean.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you're too hard on yourself too.
I'm very hard on myself, yes. But I sat down in October and early November, and I said, you know what? This is the shift that we need to make to ensure that we have the irresistible offer, where someone sits down and they go, well, what's the catch? If I hear that question, I know we nailed it, right?
Yeah.
I want to hear that question, because I'm like, there's no catch. There's 450 people out here that are living this every single day that you can ask,
Yeah.
right?
And look at the turnover. We don't have that.
Yeah, we
many.
don't. I mean, brand new agents, I failed brand new agents for a while, just by not providing adequate training. But that was something that we went hard on last year. And we're like, you know what? Like, we're going to roll out trainings here, trainings there, trainings everywhere. And
Yeah.
Grant's like, I need like an assistant or something, man.
Yeah.
You're killing me over here.
He's doing a great job. Good job.
He
man.
is. He's killing it. We still don't have a Grant cam 7 years later. We'll do anything if Mike or anybody calls, but if Grant asks for a webcam, that shit's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 years ago, you had 2 agents. And what was the turning point? You know, you got a lot of people out there who are bigger agents, who are bigger individual agents. And they go, okay, you know what? I have a job. Because you always have a job unless you have a way to make money that doesn't require you to be there.
Yes.
And in the real estate profession, the simplest way, generally, simple is heavily quoted
Yes.
here, is to have a team.
Yeah.
Was
Sean,
that your shift?
You see, if you think about team right now, you think about one person. Right now, it's like, the concept is just Mekhail's team. So I'm trying to change that, which is every agent get credit for their hard work.
Yeah.
So if, Mina or Hani or someone has a listing, they list it under the name. I don't get credit for it.
Yep.
They get credit for it. When they're buying and helping buyers, they get credit for it. And when I thought about it, it's like, why would I want to work hard for someone else's name?
Yeah.
So I'm changing the culture of
Yeah.
the team, So
Yeah, which is great.
yeah, the split. If you think about the splits that most of the teams do,
It's a lot.
sure. I mean, I've seen 60 to the team leader and 40 to the agent, and I see 50-50, 80-20, 70-30.
I've seen 17 to the team member
I've seen that, Sean.
and 83 to the team leader. I'm not going to name any names, but if you're in Nashville, you probably know them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I actually had one of the agents talk to me, and I was like, Mike, I'm thinking to go to that team. And I was like, okay, do you know everything that you have to do 5 or 6 deals just to make one deal with me here?
Right.
And really, yeah, you getting 95% of your commissions, man. I mean, all I'm going to do, I'm going to train you and teach you to
All I'm going to do is change your life, my friend.
yeah, and Sean, people looking at leads.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Okay, so
It's a never
let's
ending.
talk about leads.
Let's
out
talk
there.
about it.
It's you really need to get good leads. It's not any leads, because you can waste so much time just to get one good lead.
Right.
So you will waste days and days just to get one. But you have the Facebook, you have friends, family on Facebook and social media. If you spend some time and advertise and show yourself to your friends and families, you will get easy
Absolutely.
leads. And I had that happen the other day. We have a new agent. Her name is Maha. Just joined me a couple of weeks ago. So she was so excited. She was ready to go. And, we have listings coming on the market almost like 1 or 2 a week.
Right.
And we actually right now we have like almost 22 listings and only 5 active. So all of them under contract. So Maha talked to me and said like, Mike, what should I do? I was like, okay, you want to do an open house to this new listings?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So she's done one in Old Hickory. She's done another one in Franklin. And advertise on Facebook and social media and start telling, hey, I'm here today, conducting an open house, come see me. And then once we get them under contract, she put him on Facebook and it's like, hey, it's under contract. One of the people that saw her video on Facebook, it's not her friend, just, he clicked on it and he gave her a call. It's like, hey, can you help me find a home? She's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yesterday, she went under contract with him.
That's amazing.
I
And
mean-
she's like 3 weeks licensed, like two,
3 weeks. Yeah.
brand new.
Brand new agent. Yeah,
But she's coachable, right? I mean, that's
she's-
one of the big
she
things.
want to do it.
Yeah.
It's all about how hungry you are.
Yeah.
If you really want to do it and you work hard for it, you will do great.
Yeah.
Real estate, I used to do
not
60,
complicated.
70 homes a year. The more you do, the more hard work you do every day. And I tell people, hey, if you work for another company, if you work forget about real estate. If you work for Walmart or if you work for Amazon, you will have to work at least 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
If you put the same efforts in real estate, I promise you, you will do amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was on a panel yesterday talking about this same thing is like, in real estate, almost specifically, there's this love and attachment to the buzzword of busy. But what is busy? And so I had everyone, and if you're listening to this, you can do the same thing. I had everyone pull out their iPhones, go into settings, go under screen time, and look at how much time they're spending on all the different things inside of their phone. Because like we had someone yesterday, we actually gave her a gift card for being the highest, which we rewarded bad behavior, but it's okay. 34 hours a week on social media. Wow. And I was guilty too. I looked at my numbers. I'm like, guys, I'm not living some perfect life over here. Like I spent 18 hours on social media last week, which is entirely too much, right? Yeah. And how in the heck are you going to be productive if that's what you're doing? And so there is a time and a place for it, for sure. Advertising it, obviously it works, right?
It does work.
Video though,
is video. And I tell them, I'm big on videos. I tell people like, do videos.
Yeah, it's not scary. As Brett says, if you look bad on video, it's because you look bad in person. I was like, there might be a more tactful way to say this, but I mean, you're not wrong. But everyone they stumble over leads. They stumble over what I'm
gonna do without
do the
leads.
work, man.
I need help. Like I need to join a team but I would be more than happy to give you leads and take 30-40% of your commission.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to teach you the organic way.
That's one of the things that we've been aligned on from the very beginning.
Yeah, to build your name.
Teach you to fish, not fish for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, Sean and she've done these 2 videos, amazing videos, and went under contract. And I tell the agents in my training, the office, and tell them, okay, you can wake up in the morning at 7:00. I want you to look at the MLS and I want you to see what's available on the market. I want you to follow up and focus and make those calls to your clients and tell them what's available. I mean, I asked him like, okay, can you tell me what's the best deal in ENIAC today or the best deal in Brentwood today? You should know that right away. If someone called you or one of your clients need the house, you should be able to tell them right away, we've got this 3-bedroom, 2-bath in ENIAC for like, I don't know, $275, and we've got that amazing deal in Brentwood. I got one the other day, it was for $600,000. Brentwood, beautiful house built in 2021.
Wow. That's a steal.
One day on the market, 5 offers.
Yeah, absolutely.
and I was able to secure it for my client, which is, there's an art of negotiation as well.
There is.
So
yeah. Okay, take me back again. 2017. You're an individual agent coming into the year. Did you start the team in the beginning of the year or kind of mid-year?
Mid-year.
Okay. So start of 2017, you're an individual agent. I assume your individual production was at a...
Oh, I used to do $3 million a year.
Okay. Fair enough.
That was like, when I started $3 million a year, I was so excited, so happy, making, 90,000.
90, yeah.
Yeah. And then I started thinking about the bigger picture, and okay, let's try to get more agents.
So that was the shift.
That was a shift. I was, I could, there's so much I can grow by myself.
Of course. Did you like consciously reach a point with that shift where you were like, hey, I'm ready to build a team? Or was it more so, hey, I have these goals and the way to get there is through a team?
It was more like I started getting more calls and I could not keep up with it. So I was like, I need help in that part.
So you brought on like a buyer's agent to start?
And I start like having, I don't have buyer agents and seller agents.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, I have, I have a huge team that wherever I see available, I can, assign a listing to, or, but mainly they work for themselves, Sean. They get their own leads.
Yep.
I'm trying to build them to be agents for life, for themselves.
Yeah.
Not agent for money.
Yeah, build their business.
Build
for sure.
their business.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts when people like thinking like giving all their hard work and dedication to others.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I agree. And the root of the question, because, there's invariably somebody that's going to be listening to this that goes, man, I've been thinking about starting a team, but I don't think I'm ready. And I would answer that and say, you're never going to be ready. Right. It's almost like getting married and being like, yeah, I'm not really sure that, we're ready for kids because we don't have the fat college account. We don't have the savings account. We don't have the house.
You're absolutely right, man.
Like, you just got to do.
Yeah. I mean, I get calls all the time from agents, experienced agents, friends here in simpliHŌM and outside. What did you do and how you grow your business? How did you start? Because they know me a long time ago. I only had like few agents, and now
everybody knows you.
Everybody knows. And some of them, they don't know me really that I have that many people because my name is not on every listing. So I tell them, I ask them questions. Are you ready for to being a team leader? Are you dedicated 100%? Are you willing to give all the right answers to your agents and help them to grow? Yeah. Because some of them, they just don't want to say everything. They're secrets.
It's a mindset problem, right?
Like
lack versus
scared,
abundance.
Yeah, they're scared like to lose their clients and give them to someone else. And are you ready for that? It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to let go one of your clients that call you and tell you, hey, we would like to buy a home or we'd like to list a home. And you call one of your agents, hey, can you help them out? Because
it's gone. That moment, it's gone.
Yeah, but you look at the long picture. If you have that good relationship with them and the loyalty, they will stay with you. They will grow, but they will let you grow as well.
Yep, absolutely. I still do that every now and then. But the first time I did that, I remember my thought was, well, there went a really good investor. But ultimately, it's a mindset challenge at that point. And if you're a listener, if you're not in a place in which you have that abundance mindset, you're not ready. You're not ready because you have to be willing to give all the answers, all the knowledge. And the reality is, and this was something I was coached on probably 6 years ago. The reality is I could go stand in front of a room of 100 agents and I could give them the exact everything to be successful, anything, right? And one is going to do the work. That's it.
You can take the horse to the water.
Can't make him drink, right?
I mean, you just try to provide as much as you can, knowledge and help.
And that's why they love you, because you're unrestricted in your assistance.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, you need help? I'm here for you. I got you, right? I talk about Enrique a lot just because Enrique is he was one of my first, right? Like
He's a great one. He's a great one.
Yeah, he's great. And we were 4 agents. He was one of the 4. And he was the single dad making $40,000 a year and didn't know how to get to here. And I'm not the guy that did the work. He did the work. I just was the bumpers on the bowling lane to help him get to the pins, you know? And that's our job as leaders.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something about Hani. Take Hani, for example. Hani Atallah. He was a pharmacist assistant.
Really?
Yeah, great guy. He was so nervous when I met him. And a few years back, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I told Hani, it's like, he got something in you. Let me help you. I promise you.
You got Hani into the business?
I got Hani in the business. Yep.
Oh my gosh. And he's like one of the top agents in the state.
I got Mitra in the business. Yeah.
Really?
Mitra, Hani, there's a lot of agents.
So you're a really good talent.
I can see some
identifier.
things in certain people, and I tell them, "Hey, it's time for you. I think you will do great." And some of them I see, and I'm like, "Okay, it's time for you to leave." Really, I don't think real estate is good for you. You know,
Right.
If you think that I can, feed you everything, and you cannot. There's some people born with it, Sean.
Yeah, there are.
And if you have that ability, and I can give you the tools and everything, and the support. But if you don't want to do any efforts, and you just wake up in the morning and 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you just start watching, TV and be on Facebook and play some games, and then you expect that you're gonna grow.
Yeah.
No.
That's the busy agent, right?
Yeah. That's
I'm in meetings. I'm marketing on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm busy all day because you answer a few calls no, that's not. I need you to do 8 hours at least a day. If you do more, you will get more.
Yeah.
And that's what Hani did. Hani worked so hard for it. And Mina and Mitra. Mitra had no experience at all real estate, and when I met him, he gave it all.
Yeah.
And Hani sold 69 homes last year. Mitra almost 50.
And that was a down year because normally they're around like 90-ish.
Absolutely. And it's still, we have so many contracts. Like this year, we're doing great. Even with the high interest rate.
Thankfully they've come down 1.5%, 1%. But yeah.
Well, let's hope. I mean, and I tell them, hey, it doesn't matter what happened in the market.
It doesn't. Your actions dictate your economy.
Yeah, focus on your business.
Yeah.
Every day.
Do the work.
You will do good.
Do the damn thing. Yeah. That's interesting though. I had no idea that you recruited those guys off the streets and they're absolute rock stars. They're incredible.
Absolutely, Sean. And then I'm so proud of them. For the people, who they are right now. I mean, every day they work hard. I was actually with Hani, just had a closing this morning. $925,000 home just closed on this morning. It's he helps people buying $1 million home and plazas and commercial, and he also helped people with $200,000 home.
Yep.
I mean,
that's the same care and experience every time, right?
I mean, he gives it all. Every single time, and that's what makes it.
Have you heard me talk about my idea for a TV show for real estate? You heard this? No. Because I believe the same thing, that you just need to dive in and do it. I want to come up with a challenge where you take a realtor and drop them into a brand new market that they've never been in. They don't know anyone there, and you give them 90 days to make $100,000. And
like that.
Because the reality is, if you look at your business that way, you just go, right? There's no room for excuses. You're in this challenge. You're trying to get this thing done, but nobody ever challenges themselves. Everyone just sits there and goes, "Hey, I'm open for business. Come here."
Yeah, I'm available, guys. Pick me.
Hey, look at me. I just got my license. Yeah, so did 19,000 other people.
Sean, I had another example. I had Ben Azer. I don't know if you remember. Ben, when he started, he moved from being a loan officer. You remember?
Yeah, Ben walked in my office and said, "Hey, can you do a video testimonial for me?" I'm like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Mike, hey, bro, do you know this kid?"
So he started, Sean.
Yeah.
First year, sold 22 homes.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
He just flat out hustles.
He was so nervous.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it. And that's exactly what you were saying earlier. If you put that agent in that market 100 days, what are you going to do? It's the same thing. I told him, hey, you give it all. He was crazy on Facebook and all the social medias. And guess what? He sold so many homes and he's still growing.
Yeah.
Now, He recruited his brother.
Yeah.
So Peter and Ben now, they're twins.
Oh my
So
God.
it's-
I know. Last time I was at your office, I walked up to them, or I think it was
Ben.
I don't know.
Probably Ben.
Maybe
They
it was
didn't
Ben.
look alike. I
I,
mean,
know.
it's just
They were like, "Do you know which one I am?" I'm like, "Don't
No.
do this to me." I lucky guessed it though. But if you were to start over, I feel like that's the energy that you would put in. If I were to start over, that's the energy I would put in. If there was one blank moment in my day, I would be doing it wrong, right? Knock on doors, call people, follow up, send handwritten cards, make your Facebook posts, your Instagram reels, your stories, do all the, because that's what it takes. It takes this huge flurry of action.
You're right, Sean. You remember when,
And then it works.
when I started, there was no Facebook. No,
Right.
I mean, I used to knock on the door, and
Yeah.
I actually, matter of fact, I used to go to that supermarket owner. They sell Egyptian food, and
Mm-hmm.
and I used to sit there right next to the cashier, and every person go by the cashier and just
Pass
give
a
him my
card.
business card, and it's like, hey, my name is Mike. I speak your language, and I'd love to help you out. Just let me know. And that's how I started.
That's awesome.
And I tell them, like, this is hard work. You guys
Yeah.
doing it on Facebook, and this is the, if you do right hard work and the right job, you will be able to go notice right away. People
Yeah.
will notice it right away. I mean, not like back in the days. I mean, you really had to do a lot of work, like magazine
Right.
and
Everything.
newspaper.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
Yeah, and yesterday I was talking to a lender and he was like, "Man, like we're blessed to have social media. It does make people lazy because they think all they have to do is this one thing on social media and then it works." He's like, "But I'll take social media all day over what I used to do. And I used to go buy boxes of donuts and go around and give boxes of donuts and hope to God that there was a realtor in the office when I'd stop by because that was the only way to build my business."
Yes.
But I'm a firm believer that right now where everything is all, hey, I want to do AI, I want to do Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff. There's absolute value in that, but there's also a ton of value in the old school tactics because nobody wants to do the work.
Yeah.
Like nobody. They don't want to show up and do the hard
They
stuff.
just need to follow up and focus.
That's
This is
it.
the two
Yeah.
keywords: follow up and focus on your work. You will do amazing. People just lack that. They're not focusing on it, and they're not making calls. And I don't know what's wrong with the new agents now. It's just back in days we just worked really hard to get a lead and follow up and make calls and text and go to pay phones and making, hey, there was no cell phones.
Well, it's a whatever it takes mentality, right? And unfortunately now everyone's been somewhat weakened, frankly, by the reels and the TikToks of people telling them, "Oh, well, go sell just luxury housing." Are you kidding me? You can't just go sell luxury housing. Like you can.
It's really easy, simple. Someone is going to give you with no knowledge at all.
Yeah.
I
know nothing, but here's a $7 million listing.
Yeah, go ahead and take care of that for me.
Yeah.
Why they will do that?
And it's not that the opportunity doesn't exist, but the best way to get to it is to start here, learn the process, get really freaking good at it, move up with your clients, move up with your clients, move up with your clients.
Look at I'm giving example of Hanny, Ben, and all these guys because they started with nothing, and now I'm telling you, like today he closed almost $1 million home. So he would not go to that level if he did not start from the beginning and grew his business.
Yeah, you got to sell the 150 to sell the 1.5 million, right? I mean,
You got that right, Sean.
I guess you don't have to. I mean,
You don't have to.
Instagram will tell you can skip it all. But there was a Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you know who that is? Gary V. He posted something earlier about the CEO of TikTok's in Congress today. Talking about the security layers that they're going to do.
Yeah.
And there's been all this conversation and controversy around, the United States of America banning TikTok. And all these people and marketers are up in arms like, oh God, what if that goes away?
Yeah.
And he's like, who cares? Because you can't control the platform, right?
You cannot
Remember
control
when
it.
Vine was big, when Periscope was big, when Meerkat was big, and then they
vanished.
all get acquired and then they end up being Instagram with some new little feature, Facebook, whatever. But if all those go away, the eyeballs and attention are going somewhere.
You're absolutely right.
So you just have to go where the eyeballs and the attention are.
You have to be ready for
Right.
it. Yeah.
And you have to be in tune with it.
Yeah.
And so it's, as a newer agent, people need to focus on those things, but that wasn't the topipic here. I'm
Yeah.
getting all
But I'm
sidetracked.
glad- this is something, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned, and this is taking advantage of that. I mean, I was one of the people that I noticed that few months back that they're working on that. And then I bought some stocks in Facebook. It's like,
I'm
probably
just
be
going
better
to shift my portfolio to you to manage, right?
Hey, I mean, it's just like, it was on special there, and right now today it went up to 205, and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Hey,
That's fantastic. Okay, so going back to team building, the first few are the hardest in my experience, right? You're brand new. You just start this team. You had to build some systems and processes. You had to set expectations as to what they would expect. You inevitably get the conversations on things like, hey, are you going to give me leads? No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not going to give you leads. I'm going to teach you how to be successful.
I'm going to teach you how to get your leads. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's hard at the beginning, because there's no help for you. You're doing it all. Right now, I have other people that they're helping me out. I can say, hey, you can come at the office at any time. You will see other agents at the office that will help you out with any questions you need. I mean, it's that simple. If you cannot reach me, you can. I'm working on a couple agents to be a broker. Milad, one of them, which is, I've been pushing him. I want him to grow. I want him to be better.
Yeah.
I want him to have a team, and I have a team within a team.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So I want him to go to the next level.
Yeah. If there was one thing that you would point to as your success, like where was the turning point? Because there's always a turning point when you're building a team. You'll hit a point where you go, hey, I got my first 3 or 4 people, and then you're just kind of plateaued and things just kind of level off there and you don't quite hit that next. But then you hit a point where everything starts to work, starts to click. People start to see it. They understand the value. If there was one thing that you could point to that led to that moment, what would that be?
When I had a system in place, when I said, like, hey, when I get a new agent today, I'm going to do that. I'm going to, set them right. And this is how I can build their business. And that's what I'm going to say to them and follow up on them. And that was the turning point, like having the right system in place.
For onboarding and caring for them.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you say in growth was your biggest challenge?
Just finding the right, I may look at an agent today, Sean, and say, that person is going to do great. And they didn't do as I hope they do. So my expectation is always high with every agent. And, my goal, like I said, I mean, it's to go to to take my agent to a different level and be able to have not only quality agents.
Yeah.
So that was, letting an agent go because they didn't do really what I expect. And I've done great so far, but there's only one agent I let go that turned out to be really good. So being patient also with agents and try to, listen to them, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see yourself expanding outside of Nashville?
As long as with simpliHŌM, when they grow, I'm hoping to end up in Florida. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we're already there, so work on your license.
Yeah,
it's a miserable process.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, it's. I talked to you before about it. I like simpliHŌM. I think it's a great company. I want to be there for a long time. Hopefully, we'll have another team in Florida.
Yeah.
Chattanooga, everywhere.
Yeah, let's do it. I just totally. You can hit the button if you want because it's gone. I had an entire thought and then I lost the whole thought. Did you do it?
I've been shot.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Oh goodness gracious!
I had one earlier, but I just kept thinking of what to say.
Yeah, you nailed it. All right, well, I'm totally gone now. I love when I lose my whole thought. Anyway, okay. So is there anything that I could do to better support those things? Just, I'm excited about the Arabic podcast.
And those we talked about it, and that's what I like about you. We talked about it not long ago, and I told you I would like to do a broadcast in Arabic, and you thought about it. Then you called me and said, "Hey, Mike, we'll do it. Let's do it." And that's what I love about you, Sean, the most, that you listen and get things done. Other people, they listen. I don't know what happens.
Still waiting, right? No. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. You said there's 50,000 within the Egyptian community here in Nashville.
Correct.
But the entirety of the Arabic-speaking population is probably a lot more than that too, right?
A lot bigger. Yes.
So I think there's significant growth opportunity for.
We haven't scratched the surface yet, John.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible.
I just last week we added 6 agents.
That's awesome.
You know.
I love that so much. I love that.
So we're excited. They're not Egyptians, like 3 Egyptians and 3 non-Egyptians. So we're growing. Hopefully, trying to get in different others. Communities, and hopefully we can grow further.
Yeah, you will for sure. Well, I don't think any other questions that are going to be related to leadership and team building.
Hey, you're a great host, Sean.
I think it's been a fun convo, honestly. Like we came in here, my notes disappeared, so we've just been going off the fly.
But you did a great job. I mean, without any notes or anything, just like natural.
Yeah, well, thanks. You're natural too.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out there and you're thinking about building a team, if there's someone that you need to look to as an example, I would say that you're one of them.
Thank you. And I will. They can call me at any time, and I will give them my honest opinion if they're ready or not.
Yeah.
Because some of them they think
they're ready for sure.
Correct.
And if you're thinking about building a team for your own ego, then you're not ready. That's my advice. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that one in there. But where can people find you?
They can call me 615-500-7018, or they can email me. Mekhail at simpliHŌM.com.
Perfect. Make sure there's no Y and no E in that email address.
I know. I say it all the time.
Right? No Y, no E, no E. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Also, you can find Mike on his podcasts. And when are we gonna? When's that? Next Friday.
Yes, I'm excited.
Sweet.
I'm excited.
And we're doing every 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So every 2 weeks on Fridays.
Something new. Something new for the community to.
It's gonna be incredible.
Yes, I'm very excited. The agents are so excited. I'm bringing guests every time, and
I love it.
They will talk and educate them about because everything is different, Sean.
Yeah.
Like in Arabic, everything is backward.
Yeah.
And it's different to when you buy a home in Egypt. It's only one piece of paper.
Oh.
Yeah, one piece of paper. I mean, here there's just tons
40 pieces of paper.
A lot. Yes. So it's so we're trying to tell them more about termites and all the stuff. We don't.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah, all the other things that they don't know about.
Yeah. It was funny when we first started working together. I said, "Hey, Mike, I'm going to give you Home HQ, which is our platform where everybody goes to access all their tools. I'm going to give it to you guys in Arabic." And then I went on, I'm like, I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to actually do this. But I stayed up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. I built this website. I translated it. I was like, can you check this? Please don't be wrong.
You did it.
We did it.
It's amazing. So fast, so quick, So we love it, man.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor.
It's been a pleasure. I love working with you and your team. And it's been a great conversation.
So next time we'll meet, we're probably going to be 600 agent for the company, and we'll be 150 in my team. So
1,150 sounds perfect.
So thank you. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Really. So
it was a pleasure. That wraps it with Mike. Thank you, Mike. You can find us anywhere podcasts are, Spotify, Apple, everything. Click like, subscribe. We'll see you then.
Hey guys, it's Swy. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you got some useful information and we made your day a little bit better. If you're interested in joining the movement of realtors getting their time and life back, check us out at joinsimpliHome.com on the browser, at simpliHome on socials, or in the description. See you next week.